Okay, so here we have a problem that was on one of your tests, and it's asking you to read the word problem, look at the student's work, and find the mistake. There is a mistake. It's telling you that they went ahead and did the one chart or the proportional chart, and basically they still got it wrong. So we need to go ahead and find out the correct one. So let's look at what they have. Now, if you look at this, it is similar figures. And all you have to do is find out the corresponding sides. So 9 will correspond to 13. X will correspond to 15. And 12 centimeters will correspond to 18. Okay, so let's find out if they set this up correctly. So they have the small triangle, and that's telling you it's 9. So they're looking at this part right here. So if it's 9, then they're going to go with 15 as the other part of it. So then for the large, we're going to go ahead and do 12 and a half and X. So they set it up correctly. This is correct. Okay. So now what we need to do is multiply, right? So 12 and a half, or 13 and a half, sorry. Is it 12 and a half? Oh, that's what they did wrong. It's 13 and a half. 13 and a half times 15. So then when they multiplied it, let's see if they did it correctly. So you have 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17. Carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 1, 6. So that's correct. Then 0, 5, 3, and 1. So when they added them, okay, so that's going to be 10. That's correct. So this is correct too. Okay, now what do I have to do once you multiply it? Divide, right? You have to divide. Well, let's look at it, because she went ahead and divided that, but she put 202.5. So this is where they divided that. So 202.5. So 9 into 20 does go twice, so that's 18. So now we have 22. 9 into 22 still is twice. You have the decimal there. So that's 18. So now it's 4. And 9 into 45 is 5. So did they answer this correctly?
Yep.
Okay, they put that the answer was 225. So then the only thing that they actually missed was what? Oops. Yeah, the decimal. So because they put 225, then their answer was incorrect. So it should have been 22 and 5/10. So remember, guys, even though it's a really small mistake, that's still wrong, especially when you have to bubble it in. When you're bubbling in, you have to have an exact answer in order to get it right. If it were multiple choice, she would probably have, or he would probably have seen the mistake. But because they weren't no multiple choices, then she couldn't see her mistake. Okay, so what we're doing today is the same thing we did yesterday, but now we're going to separate the total surface area. So we are doing the lateral surface area. Now, lateral means what goes around it. It does not include the base. So this is pyramid, and it is a square pyramid. So what I want you to do is when you have any three-dimensional shape, you're going to shade in the base. So let's do that now. Shade in the base. Okay, and then we're going to find the area of the base. So you have 5 times 5 is what? 25. So the area of the base is 25. So I'm going to go ahead and put it here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do the lateral sides. The lateral sides are all the faces. All the faces, those are your lateral sides. So what we're going to do, we're going to find the area of those. Now, it's giving you that the base is what? 5, and the height is 8. So all we have to do is go ahead and do A equals half of base and height. A is equal to half of 5 times 8. So 5 times 8 is 40, and half of 40 is 20. A lot of you are forgetting to divide it by 2. Remember, you still need that in half, so make sure you do it. So how many triangles measure the same amount or has the same area? All 4 of them, right? So 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20 gives you what? 80. So in this case, the lateral surface area is 80. The base is 25, so all we have to do to find the total is 105. So always try to separate the areas because they are going to ask you for lateral surface area, which is just all the faces, and then the total surface area, which is all the sides. Okay, the bases and the faces. So that's the only difference between what we did yesterday. Yesterday we did the total, but now we're separating as lateral and as bases. This next one is the same thing. We still have a square pyramid. So we're going to go ahead and shade in the base. Always shade in the base because that helps you identify what's the lateral sides and what is the base sides. So let's go ahead and find the area of the base. So A equals, what are the sides? 4. So A equals 4 times 4. That's 16. So the area of the bases of the base actually is 16. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and find the lateral sides. So the lateral sides are going to be all the faces. So in this case, they're telling you they're congruent because they didn't put any other measurement. Okay, so if they don't put any other measurement and they don't tell you in the word problem that there's a different measurement, then we're assuming they're the same. So now let's go ahead and find the area. So area is equal to half the base and height. So what is the base for the one triangle? 4. What's the height? 6. So then we're going to do 4 times 6 is 24. And half of 24 is 12. Remember, don't forget to divide by 2. So how many 12s do we have?
4.
So 12 times 4 is going to give us 48. So then my lateral surface area is 48. Now to find the total, all we have to do is add them up. So that's 14. And it's going to be 64. And don't forget the units. So it's the same thing we were doing yesterday, but now again, we're separating them. So whenever they ask you for lateral, and sometimes they'll just ask you for lateral surface area, and that's all you have to do. Find the area of the faces. This next one is what kind of shape? Triangular prism. And what are the faces here? The faces are 3. Okay, what are the bases? Okay, the bases. Remember I told you that the name of the shape is the shape of, the name of the shape is the base. I don't know what I said. What did I say yesterday? The name of the shape is the base of the shape. No, it's the shape of the base. There. The name of the shape is the shape of the base. So if you're saying it's a triangular prism, then what are the bases? Triangles, yes. Okay, see? I knew I told you yesterday correctly. I couldn't remember it today. So those are your bases. So that means I'm just going to find the lateral. We're not going to do the bases or the total. So what would be the lateral surface area? What do we need to do? Yeah, find what this is and what that is. Find what this is Well, we know what that is, right? So basically we're doing those. So let's do that one first. So what are the dimensions for that one?
12 and 8.
12? How do you know it's 8?
Because the top, like,
Yeah, if you notice here, they're telling you that this is the same as that, which is the same as that. So that means this is going to be 8. So now all we have to do is find the area of that. So A equals base and height. So A equals 12 and 8. And what's 12 times 8? 96. So that's 96. But does that mean that this one's 96 too? No? So what is this? What would be that? What are the dimensions for that one? 12 times 8? Isn't that what we did? Didn't we do 12 times 8?
wait, 96 times.
Well, are they all like that? Are they all 8? Is it all 12 times 8? Yeah. It didn't look like it, right? But remember, sometimes these shapes are stretched out. But if they're telling you that all of those are congruent, then yes, it's going to be the same. So this is going to be also 96, and this is 96. So in order to find the lateral surface area, all I have to do is multiply 96 times 3, and that gives you 18, 27, 28. So this is going to be 288 square centimeters. Now, if they were to ask me for the total, I would have to do is find the area of the bases and then add them up. But we're not doing that for this one. Okay, so the last one here is the rectangular prism. So what do you think the bases are? They're rectangles. So which one are they? Are the ones going down or the ones on the side? Yeah, the basis is the ones on the side. Okay, so now I don't need this information because I'm just going to do the lateral information here. So then I need to do 5 times 4, right, in order to get that first one. Yes? So this would be 5 times 4, which is 20. Okay, and then the next one, you have 5 times 4 again? What is it then?
20.
It's 20?
Yeah.
It's 5 times 4 again?
Yeah.
Is it? It's 3 and 5. Isn't it? Because isn't this 3? So this would be 3. So 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, so then what do you think the next one is? 5 times 4. Because we're assuming because this is 4, right? Then this is going to be 4. So that means that's going to be 4. So that's going to be 20. And then the last one. How about the last one? 3 times 4?
No, I thought you were.
It's still 5.
Yeah.
Is it 4? Because think about it. This is going to connect to what? Isn't it going to connect to this one once you do that? So then that's going to be 15. So that's the same as that one. So it's 15. So now we're just looking for lateral. So all we have to do is add those up. So 20 plus 15 is 35, and 35 plus 35, it's 70. So the lateral surface area is 70. So remember, your bases, if you shade them in and they're asking you for lateral, just do the rest of them. Always, always, always shade in your bases. Okay, that helps you out. It's a strategy. It helps you out not to include that when they're just asking you for lateral surface area. So make sure you put these notes in your composition book, because remember, that's the only thing you could use on your test. And if you need to watch this video again, make sure you watch it. Now, your assignment, this is the first one, and it's asking for lateral and total surface area. And if you notice on the bottom down here, it's asking you to name the shape, then shape of the base. Remember, the name tells you what the shape of the base is. Then it's asking you to shade in the bases, like I've been telling you. Then you find the lateral surface area, and then you find the total surface area. Okay, so lateral and total, you have to keep those separate. Any questions before you get started? Make sure you come to me and ask me if you have any questions. Make sure that you complete this and turn it in. Yes.